Okay, we'll get down to it. Tonight's forum, and thank you everybody for coming out. We appreciate it. This is a great group, and it's a good topic tonight. I tell you, a lot of people wonder, what is the proper role of our government? What is our government supposed to be doing? A lot of times you hear on the radio the Tulsa City, Tulsa County Commissioners, your local community government, the state government, when they come out with a law or something happens, you go, what are they thinking? What is the role of my government, and what should they be doing? What form of government do we have? Who is the government, and what power and authority does the government have? How do I recognize good government? Is there a difference between good government and absolute control? How does one know when government has gone too far? What rights and responsibilities do citizens have? What's up with the federal government? What's up with the state government, for that matter? We've got some people here that can answer that one. Simply put, what is the proper role of government in the United States and in Oklahoma? Before I introduce tonight's panel, I want to explain a couple of rules. There will be a question and answer period following all four panelists after they speak. You'll have an opportunity to ask them questions. But to begin with, each panelist will have approximately 5 minutes to present their position on tonight's topic. What is the proper role of government? Now, we sent out an email earlier asking for questions, and we did receive several of those, and we've got a list of 8 questions, and we have supplied that to each one of the panelists. And those questions, they will have 1 to 2 minutes to respond to those questions. After all the panelists have been given time to respond to the 8 original questions, the floor will be open for questions from the audience. And if you do come up to ask a question, please keep in mind to keep your questions short and to the point. This is not a time to hear about your testimony on the opinion of the government, okay? Just please get your question to the panelists. They'll be glad to answer it. If you get a little windy, I may have to say, could you please get to your point? There's a lot of people that would like to ask questions, so please get straight to that. After tonight's forum is over with, and you have an issue that you would like to talk to one of the panelists about that's a little bit more in depth, they will be remaining afterwards for a short time, so you will have an opportunity to possibly have one-on-one with our panelists. At this time, I'd like to introduce tonight's panel for the forum. Our first panelist is Oklahoma State Senator Randy Brogden. Senator Brogden was elected to the Oklahoma State Senate in 2002, representing District 34, which includes Owasso, Collinsville, Catoosa, Sperry, and Northeast Tulsa. He started his political career by serving on the Owasso City Council and as the mayor of Owasso. In 2002, Senator Brogden was named Legislator Newcomer of the Year, not missing one vote all session, and was named Legislator of the Year 3 times running after that, scoring the highest conservative vote record in the Senate. Senator Brogden is on several committees, including the Transportation Appropriations Committee. Senator Brogden has been a successful businessman in Tulsa for over 30 years. He is married to his high school sweetheart, Donna, which she's here tonight, of 34 years, and they have 2 sons and 1 daughter-in-law. Today, Senator Brogden will be speaking on a critical issue of sovereignty. We are fortunate to have the Senator with us today. This evening, if you would, please join me in welcoming Senator Randy Brogden.
Thank you so much for being here tonight, and I do want to especially say thanks to my wife for, is this working? Yes, it is. For Donna coming with me tonight. She doesn't always get to be with me, but it's always an honor for me personally, because she's, if no one else smiles at me, I can always look back at my wife and she's always smiling, so it makes me feel good. We're going to get into some meat here in just a little bit, and I know we've got questions to answer, and I just want to give you a real quick blush about why I believe what I believe, and then we're going to answer what good government is all about. I think we'll have plenty of time during the Q&A, and 5 minutes won't allow me to get into too much of the details. And I was actually thinking about this question: why do I believe what I believe about government? And how have I formulated my beliefs? And what has caused me to lean a little right and a little conservative in my form of governance? And I think probably two of the most important things that has caused me to formulate my thought process when it comes to government. Number one, my dad, and number two, my general upbringing and my Christian walk. Those two things have really instilled in me the values that have allowed me to make the decisions in the Senate that I make. Now, I'll tell you something. I'm unlike a lot of politicians, and I'll be honest with you tonight, I do not agonize over a lot of the legislation that comes across my desk. The hard part for me is to pick up a 20 or 30-page bill and not being an attorney, just being a heat and air guy, just a regular individual. Sometimes it's hard to read a bill and try and understand what the bill says. But I assure you, once I have an understanding of what the bill means, my thought process, whether I support that bill or whether I don't support that bill, is made very, very quickly. Because every piece of legislation that I support has to answer just a few very basic questions for me. Number one, is it constitutional? I'll look at that bill and I'll look and see how it compares, and does it live up to the federal Constitution? Does it violate it in any form or fashion? Does it adhere to the Oklahoma Constitution? And folks, you would be shocked if you had an inkling of how many bills each year we pass that are unconstitutional, either at the state level or the federal level. It drives me crazy. I have literally stood on the Senate floor and opened up the Oklahoma Constitution and read specific sections of law and debated against a bill specifically on that particular section of law, and yet I'll only drag 2 or 3 or 4 no votes with me. A blatant violation of the Constitution many times. The second question I always ask, do we need it? Okay, it passes the constitutional muster. Do we need this bill? Does it grow government? Does it empower people? It has to answer those questions for me. And if it grows government, and if it doesn't empower people, chances are I'm not going to vote for it. And finally, I'll ask the question, can we afford it? So if it's constitutional, yeah, we need it. I think we need it. Can we afford it? Is it going to cost the taxpayers more money? And if that's the case, if I answer yes to any of those, I do not support legislation. So I have a very simple approach when it comes to what I believe to be good government. And it's those 3 items. And I am very much looking forward, BJ, to the time for questions and answers. And thank you for hosting this tonight. Thanks very much.
Our second panelist this evening will be Representative John Wright. Oklahoma State Representative John Wright serves House District 76. He covers approximately 1/3 of the city of Broken Arrow. Representative Wright was first elected in 1998 and is in the middle of his 5th term. He serves as chairman of the Government Modernization Agency Revenue and Administration Review Committee. He has also been selected by his peers to serve as the House Republican Caucus Chairman. He has been married to his wife Debbie for 26 years, and their daughter Ashley is a graduate from ORU. Representative Wright will be speaking on the all-important issue of citizen involvement in the legislative process. And we are privileged to have Representative Wright with us this evening. Will you please join me in welcoming Representative Wright?
Thank you. Part of that introduction was from when I had a chance to speak to OK Safe. I actually concluded the 5 terms, and my wife and I are up to 28 years. You reach a point where you can't consider doing anything else.